right. Okay, I gotta bust out this recipe because I have no idea what I'm doing. All right. Okay. Hi, everybody. It's Thursday night. That means it's Dr. Carlen Live night here in the corner of love. You can kind of see it, corner of love. But, yeah. And I'm here. I don't know what that sound is. It just keeps making weird sounds. Anyway, so I'm here with my darling friend Holly.
Hello.
AKA Hallie Feminist on Instagram. Yes. So I asked Holly, I was like, Holly, I want to do something really interesting and I want to like bake cookies and talk about cool women stuff. And Holly was like, yeah, I'm going to do that with you. So that's what happened. So that's what we're here today to do. We're going to bake some cookies. She's going to like make sure I don't screw this up because I'm not a very good baker. And we're going to talk about some really cool stuff. But before we get into that, I just kind of want to give you guys a little bit of an update as to what's going on this month at Dr. Carlen Live on Thursday nights. So today we're baking cookies. We're Cookies and Conversation. Next week I've got a really awesome artist. His name is Dre. He's a hot babe and he's coming down. We're going to talk about relationships and the lyrics in his music and all that good stuff. The week after, we're going to be doing some makeup tips for summer. And then the week after that, we are going to be at Salon Cyan and we're going to be doing hair trends for the summertime. It's going to be a really great month. I hope you guys stick with me every Thursday night at 8 p.m. right here. But for now, you're here and you're joining with me, which is the best thing ever. And it's Dr. Carlen Live night, Thursday night. And we're going to get started. So, the whole reason why this became inspired to happen, and if you watch me every week, you will know that a few weeks ago, Holly was watching with me, a few weeks ago, we 3D printed some stuff. I 3D printed a clitoris, which was super great, and then like a little body mold and all that stuff, and then the wonderful Andrew at Tech Alley was like, I can 3D print you a vagina cookie cutter.
Here it is.
Here it is. So thank you, Tech Alley. Thank you, Andrew. I love you. Mwah, mwah. You made me a vagina cookie cutter. Look at this. Guys, like seriously, this is like the coolest thing ever. So I was like, well, I have to have like an excuse to use the vagina cookie cutter. So why not make cookies and make them into vaginas? And we're going to like pipe them, we're going to mold them, it's going to be all that stuff. So first, let's get into cookies. Let's start making some cookies, and then we can, but while we're doing that, we're going to talk about some cool and interesting stuff, right? Right? Okay. So first we start with a bowl. That's about as far as I got, Holly. I'm not going to lie. I can cook, so like, I can cook like 10-course meal, 20 people, like, I will bring it to you, no problem, right? Like, just like, all of it. Appies and like, the whole meals, and like, and then I go out and I buy dessert. Like I don't, or I ask my sister who's an amazing dessert maker. She's so good. And so is my cousin Jessica, also an amazing dessert maker. And I call them, I'm like, hey, I like dessert's not my thing. So yes, this is why I have Holly. So let me tell you a little bit about Holly. So Holly is a wonderful, wonderful woman who I met through my work at Regional HIV/AIDS Connection, and Holly is the Women's HIV/AIDS Community Developer, right?
Community Development Coordinator.
Sorry, Community Development Coordinator. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So she works with the Women's HIV and AIDS Initiative in Ontario, and helps create like programs and awareness. Like, what do you do with why?
I work with women who are living with and affected by or at increased risk for HIV. So work with them to make sure that the work that we're doing is reflecting their needs, their experiences, what's going to be most helpful for them.
And that's so cool. That's so cool. She's badass because that's not all she does. She's also a professor. Would you say professor? TA?
TA.
You're TA. She's also a TA at Western. So, doing her master's. And what's your master's in? Tell everyone.
I finished my master's in Women's Studies and Feminist Research.
She finished her master's in Women's Studies and Feminist Research. No big deal. Just like badass like that. That's why she's wearing the Wonder Woman apron. Straight up. It's so good. And Wonder Woman comes out tomorrow, doesn't it? I think it does. It's tomorrow?
Yeah. Yeah,
it's tomorrow. Anyways, so I've got this babe with me. And we're going to bake and talk about all this stuff. Okay, so first step. Okay. So what is it that you have to do? You have to like dry ingredients first, right?
That's right.
Okay, so 1.5 cups of flour. I'll let you do that part. Do you want to measure me out 1.5 cups of flour? We're making, oh, by the way, this recipe that we're making is for peanut butter cookies. Peanut butter vagina cookies. This is so great. Okay, so 1.5 cups of flour. We got that. Half a teaspoon of salt. So for those of you who are Portuguese and of my people, that's right, I keep my salt in a proper salt clay container from the motherland. Just saying. Anyways, so we've got to have half a teaspoon of salt.
Too much.
Is that too much? You sure?
Half of that, yeah.
That's still too much?
That's a big teaspoon, yeah.
Is it? I don't know. I like them kind of salty. No, is that good?
Good.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're bringing this to everybody in the office tomorrow. Okay. All right. So we got salt. We have flour. Baking soda. This stuff, right?
Baking powder.
Oh, that's baking powder. I don't know if I have baking soda. Wait, I do have baking soda. Hold on a second.
Let's see what else we're waiting for. 1/4 cup of sugar.
We're not going to use sugar, though. We're going to
We're
use
using
honey.
honey.
You know why I have baking soda? I have baking soda because I use baking soda to exfoliate my skin. So baking soda, because I don't like using like St. Ives or like any of those other like weird exfoliants. So some really great natural exfoliants that you can find for your skin to remove dead skin, because we all want that summer glow, right? We all want that like hot summer glow right now. So what I use is either coffee grounds, if I'm like with somebody who drinks coffee. I don't drink coffee, but sometimes I'll buy the soap with like the coffee grounds in it, or baking soda. Straight up baking soda. I take baking soda, I put a little bit in my hand in the shower. I add a few drops of water, turn it into a paste, and just like literally like scrub it and rub it in my skin, and I love it.
Sea salt as well is a really great exfoliant. It draws all the impurities out of your skin.
Oh, that's a good idea. What about sea salt with a little bit of charcoal in it?
Mm.
Sea salt with a little bit of charcoal would also be super good, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so how much? Okay, so we need a little bit of this. I know this isn't a teaspoon, but this is why I have you. So what does it say? It said 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Is that too much?
Yeah. A little bit less.
A little bit less?
There you go.
Great. Great. Okay. All right. So we've got the baking soda, we've got the flour, we've got the salt. And now it's wet ingredients because I don't want to use sugar. So I'm choosing not to use real sugar in this recipe. Instead, I'm using honey. Because I like honey. And this is just like pure Ontario farm boy honey. Really the best ever. Oh, did you already grab some?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. So it was 1/4 cup of sugar and then 3/4 cup of brown sugar. So we need a full cup of honey.
Okay.
So we should probably put a little more, do you think? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I do actually have a KitchenAid mixer, but we thought it'd be way more fun to do this by hand. That's what I think. Oh, wow. Oh, that's good. That's more than enough.
So this is 1/2 cup.
Oh, that's 1/2 cup.
We're going for a full cup total.
Yeah, we need, because we needed 1/4 cup of sugar and 3/4 cup of brown sugar, but I'm substituting my sugar for honey.
Okay, so we're doing this.
I'm learning so many things right now.
You can replace sugar with honey in most recipes for your sweetener or molasses.
Or molasses. Yeah, is that another good alternative? What else is a good alternative? I know some people use, it starts with an A. What do you guys use for sugar alternatives out there? Because I like using honey. Holly's saying she likes using molasses.
I don't like it.
You don't like it? Oh, okay.
It's a thing.
Use this thing. Can you use this instead?
Okay. I'm going to do this for now.
Oh, okay. I'm hanging out, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is agave syrup. Thank you, Marcia. That's what I was thinking of. Agave syrup. You can use honey. You can use molasses. You can use xylitol. Thank you, Maria. I appreciate that. Right? So many different substitutes for straight up sugar. We have so much sugar in our diets, and get rid of it. Everyone. Oh, Groove. Xylitol, no glycemic rise, and good for your teeth. Thank you, Groove. Xylitol, I didn't know that one. So that's also a good thing to know. here we go. So we're making cookies. All right, so we've got our sugar in it. Now we need straight up vanilla. So I have some beautiful organic vanilla. Now I like vanilla, so we're just gonna splash that in because like I straight up love. Okay, how much do we need?
Tablespoon. A bit more.
1 tablespoon. Okay. Let's put a little bit more. I really like. There. 2 tablespoons. We put 2 tablespoons of this beautiful, simply organic vanilla in our cookies. And then peanut butter. We need peanut butter. So we need a cup of peanut butter. Oh, we also need butter. I'm using butter in this one. I'm going to use some real butter. Because I don't actually keep butter in my house. I prefer not to. However, when it comes to peanut butter cookies, I feel like it's just not the same. I mean, so unless someone wants to make me peanut butter cookies that makes it the same without butter, let me know. Because straight up. Just be careful with xylitol, it's fatal for your pets. Ooh, that's good to know. So we were talking about sugar replacements earlier. And one of our wonderful viewers, Maria, just let us know that xylitol, so if you get that as a sugar replacer, can actually be really harmful for your pets. There's a lot of stuff that's harmful for your pets. Sugar also is harmful for your vagina. We're going to be talking about vaginas today, right? That's kind of the whole point. It's like cookies and conversation. We're talking about vaginas. This is why I bought, where is that beautiful cookie cutter thing? There it is. This is why I got this, and I got the awesome people at Andrew at Tech LA to make this for me. But sugar, so bad for your vagina. Just like straight up, like that's why things like flavored lubes, for example. So like flavored lubes, not the best for using for oral sex or for penetrative sex. Also flavored condoms, not necessarily the best. I mean, if you have nothing else, that's the option you go with, right? You just deal with it after. But sugar, not the best. Sorry, are you waiting? Is that enough butter? What are we doing?
It is. So our flavored condoms are not only not designed for penetrative sex because they break down faster, but they're actually harmful, you're saying, because of sugar.
Yeah, because of the sugar. Yeah, because the flavor. So the flavor isn't actually in the latex, right? The flavor is in the lube. And the lube has like a glucose level, like a glycerin glucose level. And the flavor comes from sugar. So when they made these flavored lubes, it was basically for sex work so that people could like give blowjobs without without contracting STIs or STDs, keeping the people who are practicing sex work safe, right? Super important, super understandable. However, you get these flavored condoms and flavored lube and everybody into each other's hands kind of thing. And everyone's like, ooh, I want your vagina to taste like strawberries, which is really, really great. And it could cause harm if you're really sensitive. So that's the thing, is that some people react, some people don't react. It really just depends on like who you are.
Echoes the conversation that we had earlier about this expectation that vaginas have, scents that are of fruit or flowers or really unnatural,
Yeah, douching.
Yeah.
Like, what's
because
that?
natural scents are not clean or they're not, desirable.
Natural. So the natural scent of your vagina, like, and I've heard people say it. Like, I've heard men say this. I've heard women say this to women. Women say this to themselves. Men say this to women, right? That they're like natural scent. Like, I don't want your vagina to smell like it does. And it's like, what do you mean? This was not born smelling like cherries, okay? This was like, it's fresh, it's delicious, it's amazing, and it does not taste like cherries. Straight up.
Yeah. And there's this, we know that eating lots of pineapples does taste delicious, but again, it's not delicious like pineapples per se. It's a different kind of, appealing vaginal flavor. Can we say that? An appealing vaginal flavor.
You know what I'm talking about when we talk about an appealing vaginal flavor, right? And that kind of like idea is really harmful for women. Right? So when we start talking about how like every person with a vagina needs to douche, or vaginas smell funny or taste funny, right? That can be super harmful for women.
Especially when foods do impact that flavor, because people eat different cultural foods and different types of spices, and that impacts the way that our bodily fluids taste and smell. So
100%. It super does, right? And so not only does it actually, like, it makes people feel self-conscious and and then I have women who come to me and they sit in front of me on my couch and they're like, I don't connect with my body, and I don't like my body, and I don't like my vagina, and I am scared to have my partner go down on me because, no.
Yeah, it's interesting that so many women just don't touch or look at or, are connected with their own vaginas. It's a body part that we, and just, I mean, even thinking about Eve Ensler's vagina monologues.
Eve Ensler's vagina monologues!
Have never looked at it, have never connected with their own vaginas, feel uncomfortable touching themselves, or,
all of that. How many of you, I mean, like, you're not going to answer, I know you're not going to answer, but just think about this right now. How many of you, I'm like moving this a little bit. How many of you, when was the last time you looked at your vagina? Or vulva, actually, because there's a difference. So the vagina is this. This is the vagina, the full thing, right? So we go in through here. Here's your vagina, here's your uterus, here's your fallopian tubes, all of that good stuff, right? This is your fundus, which is, aka your pubic mound is up here, right? Your cervix is right here, super great, that's where the babies are made in here, they come out through here, all right? But what was my question? When was the last time you looked at your vulva? The vulva is the face of your vagina, right? So the vagina is like everything. It's like the whole package. The vulva is the face. And when was the last time you looked at it? When was the last time you took a mirror and looked at your vulva? Straight up. We look at our hair every day. We look at my face every day. I look at my booty every day. I look at everything else every single day, except, well, I mean, not me, but a majority of women that I've spoken to don't even know the last time that they fully looked at their vulvas. That's so problematic. Right? Anyways, kid, let's get back to mixing these. We'll be right back. We're going to be right back about talking about why it's problematic to not have a relationship with your vagina. Okay, so we've got, now we can put the egg in, right?
Yeah.
Or no? Yeah?
Give her.
Okay. Put an egg in. Put an egg, because we're still baking cookies. That is the whole point of this, too. Okay, we got those. A cup of peanut butter. Do we have to measure that? Do you think? Yeah, you would measure it.
What do you think that's about? You just mentioned that, we talk about vaginas. That's the language that we use if we choose to use the proper terminology. But
yeah,
in reality, the part that we see that we may or may not look at would be the vulva.
Yeah.
But many people don't even use that word.
They don't use that word. Well, most people don't even know where the fucking clitoris is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, most men. I'm sorry. No offense. I'm sure some of you are wonderful. But like, we just have this, like, disconnect from it. You know what I mean? Like, there's this crazy disconnect from our bodies as women. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that women are so sexualized, right? So no matter what we wear, no matter what we look like, whether we're having sex or not having sex, or, you know what I mean? Like, we're so sexual, like, it's the Madonna whore complex, right? So it's like, if you have sex, you're a whore. If you don't have sex, you're too virginal, right? And it's like, you just can't fucking win, which is a nightmare. And I think that's what has bred this serious disconnection for women and their bodies. And it's really unfortunate because I'm hearing all these, like, women not having orgasms. Like, I'm not hearing it. I'm seeing, like, these women are literally coming into my office and they're being like, I don't know when the last time I had an orgasm was. I don't know, I don't know how to have an orgasm. I don't know how to tell my partner how to pleasure me, right? So we're putting in a cup of this beautiful organic peanut butter. Yay. Oh my God, that's going to be so good. And I think that has a lot to do with it. I don't know, what do you think, Holly?
So if we're talking about language and we're talking about how we're not using the proper terminology for our bodies, and we can't even, name that for ourselves, and how can we ask our partners for pleasure?
Yeah.
How can we talk about that in a way that's accurate or going to reflect what we need or what we
want, what actually feels good. Guys, people, those of you who have fun with vaginas, your vagina is like a snowflake, okay? Everyone is different. Everyone's map is different, and it all takes a little bit of differentness to like get there, okay? Right? So, you know, here's the deal. Here's the one thing that you're gonna have to know in this life. Vagina is like a snowflake. Learn your woman's snowflake. Straight up. That's like woman, man, whoever it is, right?
But learn your own snowflake first and foremost, so you can talk about it and tell your partner what you need, or you know, give yourself what you need, so you don't have to rely on a partner. Right?
You heard her. This is why we're friends, because she knows exactly what I was going to say next, right? Not only should you be learning your friend's snowflake, but you should be learning your own snowflake, which made me think about something else we wanted to talk about, and that was names for vaginas. Mm-hmm. Okay, right? Because we're really all about language and stuff. We're both academics, right? So, like, language is incredible. Is that soft enough?
We're gonna chop it up a bit.
Oh, okay.
Or butter.
Or Holly's chopping the butter, and I'm licking peanut butter. So, language, words, very powerful, right? Words also, though, are only as powerful as we give them power. However, when it comes to gender, sexuality, and all of that good stuff, right? The language that we use to refer to our bodies can either be really powerful or really problematic.
So what do you call your vagina?
So what, yeah, so give us some words. I want to see some comments while we're mixing this stuff up. What do you guys call your vaginas? What are some like slang words, some slang terms that you call your vagina other than snowflake? Because that's the Dr. Carlen term now.
Cookie?
Cookie? Your cookie? Yeah. Cookie monster. Oh, I just watched Magic Mike the other day, so now that song is in my head. Right?
Cake.
Cake, yeah. Have you ever had your vagina called a cake?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think so.
That's
maybe
amazing.
It's just in my head. Maybe I called it that.
No, I mean, like, that's pretty cool. What else do we call vaginas? So we call vaginas cookies, pom-poms. I love that. Pom-poms, twats, cunts. What else what are some other really good words for vagina?
I'm from Nova Scotia, and Ginny is...
Ginny?
Ginny is a big one there, yeah.
I went to undergrad with a girl named Ginny. I wish I had known that at the time. That would have been way more interesting. I think her name was Virginia, and we called her Ginny.
Muffin.
Muffin!
I like muffin.
Butter my muffin, Melissa! Hey.
Muffin with my muffin. No.
Meat wallet. There's another good one. Meat wallet, taco, meat curtains,
Snatch.
taco, vajayjay,
VJ.
VJ,
Vag.
vag, your box, your snatch, your pleasure dome,
Flower.
your flower. Oh, like a lotus, right? Yeah, those are great. Are we
Do these
missing
make
anything?
us feel good? Are they empowering names? Are they demeaning? What do you think?
Well, like, I think it's kind of fun. Like, I mean, I love how you're doing all the work, by the way. Sorry, thank you. She knows I can't do this. It's not my forte. So, like, I think it's cute. Like, if I'm with a partner, and they're like, if my partner's like, oh, you know, your cute little cookie, let me eat your cookie, right? I'm like, oh, yeah, totally. You can 100% come and hang out with my cookie. 100%, right? But warm it up first. Right? Okay. Anyways.
Preheat the oven.
Preheat the oven. Baking is like sex with a vagina. This is why we're baking right now. I hope you guys realize this. The oven's already preheating. Now we're just like, we're softening the butter. We're getting all the ingredients mixed in. Super exciting. By the way, we are making peanut butter cookies. Yeah. But so like if like I'm with a partner and they're like, and they call like my vagina like their little cookie or something, I think that's really cute and endearing. However, in my work and when I'm like working with people, especially when I'm working with youth and teens and like, even in like universities or colleges, or really anybody, when I'm talking to anybody and I'm doing, Dr. Carlen stuff, I say vagina, and I really strongly enforce the fact that we need to call it vagina, because of the problem, like, because it can be quite problematic. So where it can be really fun is like, consensual. If it's consensual, if you're with your partner, even like if I'm kind of with some of my friends who, I've established that good rapport with, right? Like if you and I were bantering, and like that would be no problem, right? Because we're really good friends. However, in public places, in educative spaces, even, sometimes when I'm writing, sometimes like some of my writing can be a little bit, can be kind of fun, right? So sometimes I'll use like the JJ, or like, my pleasure house, or all of that stuff, or greasing the pan, you guys are amazing, kneading the dough, DOE, all of that. It can be really, really fun. And I think it can be empowering to use different names and different language for your vagina. However, where it's problematic is in, first of all, children.
Yeah.
Right? So not teaching your children or young people the proper terminology or words can be really problematic. Can you explain to them why?
Well, not only does it create a sense of shame, like if you can't talk about it and use the proper terminology, then maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe there's something that's shameful about it, that you shouldn't be having those conversations. And specifically, if you think about sexual abuse and child sexual abuse, it's really dangerous if a child is trying to tell another adult that they trust that something has happened to them, and they can't use the proper terms for their their genitals. Then that can, from a legislative perspective, that can be that can stop a prosecution. It can stop, whatever.
Can you tell them your story? Because I just hear a timer going off. So hold on. She's going to tell you the story about. Oh, you told me that story about someone didn't get prosecuted. Tell them that story.
Yeah, so I used to work in a child sexual abuse education program, and we would sometimes receive disclosures from children about experiences of sexual abuse. And in one case, there was a child who did tell us that something had happened, and when it went to court, they told us that the perpetrator had touched their, I can't remember the name right now. It was something like
Flower.
Say it was a flower.
Yeah.
The defense attorney used that to create reasonable doubt, because the child didn't use the term vagina or vulva or any proper terms. Then they were able to say, how do you know that a flower is actually a vagina? It created reasonable doubt, and the perpetrator was acquitted. So in a case like that, I mean, it's that's terrible, and you don't want to have to think about things like that, but it's really important to be proactive and to teach our children what the proper terms are for their bodies, so that for all of those reasons, so that if something bad happens, they can speak about it. They feel safe speaking about it. They don't feel ashamed. They don't think that there's something wrong with them. And then as adults, we can ask for pleasure. We can talk about our bodies. And
so we start off with our children and teaching them what the proper names for their body parts are, right, so that they can properly identify. But that actually builds sexual self-confidence and confidence in their bodies and in themselves, and connects them to their bodies as we grow older and as we become adults, because we become less shamed to refer to our body parts, right?
Yeah.
Can we put chocolate chips in these?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Is that all? That's all the ingredients, right? Yeah.
I see walnuts. Are you putting walnuts?
Well, I brought walnuts, but I just noticed that Karen got really excited that you're bringing them to the office tomorrow, and she's allergic to like every nut on the planet. So we're gonna put some milk chocolate chips instead. That's right, Karen. I love you. Do you think that's enough chocolate chips?
Yeah, that looks perfect.
Yeah?
Yes.
I'm doing something right. So, in terms of sexual self-confidence, as we grow into our bodies and into becoming, beautiful women, being able to already have that connection with yourself from a young age, and not creating that shame, that sexual shame, right? So, I am that friend. Obviously, I'm that friend, but I want you to be that friend too. I want you to be that friend that talks about your body and like the functions of your body, and like talk about your periods. Like, I don't understand why everyone's so freaking out about, like, oh, she can eat the walnuts. I don't know why people are freaking out about menstruating. Like, what, like, I don't, like, what is that fear about, right? It's like, I don't get it. Like, because, so, it's just so important to have these conversations, because I know so many women, for example, who don't pay attention to their bodies, who don't pay attention to their menstrual patterns, and then I'll be like, okay, so when was the first day of your last period? Or if they go to the doctor, and their doctor's like, so when was the first day of your last period? And they're like, I have no idea. I don't even know if I had a period last month. Right? And that can be really harmful in terms of having proper medical treatment and having those conversations with your doctors, with yourself, to know if you might be pregnant, right? So, like, to know all of these different things.
Yeah, just health in general. And I think that we talked about, those associations, or that shame around, smells or feeling dirty. And I think that when we associate menstruation with something that is dirty, and that is what vaginas are, and that's what we, relate them to, it contributes to that shame, that silence.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I don't want any, like, so here's the thing, and I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm releasing something in the next few weeks. It's going to be mind-blowing. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be Dr. Carlen exclusive, and I'm so excited to share it with you. But it is. It's a program for women, and I'm super excited to share it with all of you. And what it's going to do is it's going to bring this conversation about our bodies, about pleasure, about asking for pleasure, about our vaginas, about owning our orgasms, and it's going to be about all of that stuff all together. And I'm so excited. But that's what it's about. It's about creating a conversation, creating that comfort, and not being afraid to say, hey, my body's doing this. Has your body ever done this? Like, how many of you, I'm going to ask this, how many of you, and I know that some of you know what I'm talking about, how many of you, and some of you are going to be grossed out, but I don't care because this is what your bodies do, how many of you passed your mucus plug and freaked the fuck out? Yeah, straight up. I was like, what is that? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What is that? Why did that come out of my body? Right? And I'm freaking out. I was like, I think I was an undergrad the first time it ever happened, and I was like, what is that happening in my body right now? It was crazy.
So I have to admit that I thought that was something that happened in pregnancy and labor.
Oh yeah, no, it happens. It happens to women outside of pregnancy. So your mucus plug passes right before you're about to go into labor, right? Mm-hmm. So your mucus plug passes, your water breaks, labor, boom, right? But you can also pass a mucus plug if you're not pregnant, because yeah, I mean, I don't, I have to just check on the information as if it happens frequently for some women versus not. However, it's happened to me, and I don't have a baby, so.
And we don't learn about this in sexual health.
No.
We don't learn about this in school.
No, right? So. But these are the conversations that we need to be having, so that, like, I'm not like a freaking out undergrad being like, what is happening to my body right now, right? Mm-hmm. And being able to ask your partner, is this done? Yeah. And being able to ask for the pleasure that I want, that we deserve. Because, friends, ladies, we deserve to be served, okay? Deserve to be served. And that involves you getting to know you and your body and understanding how to ask for what it is that you want and you expect from your partner. Set the standard high, create the expectation, welcome the follow-through. That's how that goes.
And we're talking about this, like, this is something, someone's saying never in my pregnancy, so for me it happened in pregnancy, you've never,
I've never been pregnant, I don't have babies.
But I think just in general, our bodies, our vaginas are so unique, and we have very unique experiences, and it's empowering to know what can happen, what's a possibility, and it just normalizes it, so that if, something does happen, you know that you're not in danger, you're not, there's not something wrong with you, and it's okay to...
And this is why Dr. Carlen live on Thursday nights. This is why Cookies and Conversations. This is exactly. And if you want to be involved in Cookies and Conversations with Dr. Carlen, let me know. Just send me a message. We can make it happen. Okay, so back to cookies though for 1 second. We're making vagina cookies because I'm so bloody excited. So how do you think is best to execute this?
These look like very wet cookies.
Are they too wet?
Should we roll them out on some flour?
Okay. Like if we roll it out and then we make like the little molds, and then do we just use like this thing to like lift it and put it on our sheets?
I don't know how they're gonna come out of here. We'll see what happens.
Okay, well let's fuck it. Let's try it.
Maybe we can just stamp them instead of like full on.
We can just stamp them. So could we? You know what we could do is put the entire cookie on here and then just like.
Okay.
What do you think? Do you think that would work?
Is Marcia here?
Where's Marcia? Marcia should have been on this episode.
All right.
Okay, no, we'll just roll it out. Okay, we're rolling it out. This is why I brought Holly, so that she could tell me what to do. I don't know what that is, but that's wet. Okay. You got enough flour? All right. Cookies and conversation. Theme vaginas. I'm watching you do what we're doing, whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah, that should work.
Okay.
How are the chocolate chips gonna pull up and then?
I don't know. Oh. So what happened is that she's rolling the dough out so that we can make these really awesome vagina molds. All right. Okay. Should we put a little bit of flour on this? Okay. Okay.
There.
Oh, it's a little... Oh, okay, hold on. I'm going to show you guys in a second. Yeah, make it like all the way down. Because then I want to... Did that go all the way down? Shit, I don't know if I'm going to be able to... Ooh. Ah! Okay, next time we should use shortbread cookie dough.
Do you have an egg flipper? A spatula?
Oh, I have a spatula. Yeah, I do. This is why it's great that we're doing this in my house. Okay. I've got a big spatula.
Vagina cookies.
Vagina cookies.
Quick, too fast.
Oh my god. 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 Ah! Okay. I mean, not all vaginas look the same. Straight up. Not all vaginas look the same. There's a lot of flour on that cookie. We're gonna try it again. Try it again.
It's gonna bake off. We were chatting about that expectation about vaginas looking the same.
Oh, yes, the expectation that all vaginas look the same. Actually, yeah, that was a really great conversation that we were having. So there's this like misconception. This is like this idea that all lady bits or just vaginas, not even lady bits, because not all women have vaginas and not all vaginas belong to women. So I don't know what I want to eat this chocolate chip. So there's this like thing that people are like, all vaginas look the same, or there's like a prettier looking vagina, or like a better looking vagina. And what makes a good looking vagina, right?
Yeah, and there are all these surgeries and procedures that people spend a lot of money on so that their, vaginal reconstructive surgery, so that their vaginas are uniform or, look a certain way.
Vaginoplasty.
Vaginal,
Vagioplasty.
What's it called? Does anyone know?
Vagioplasty, something like that. But so it's funny. So in North America, I love how they're watching. They're like, "We're gonna tell you." I'm like, "Yes, you're gonna tell me." So in North America, we have this like obsession with our vaginas looking a certain way, right? So not only do they have to be hairless, but then they have to be tight looking, whatever that looks. So like little labia, majora and minora, right? And have that tightness, whatever the fuck that means. And that's like, what people want, right? However, in other parts of the world, I don't know if this is gonna work. We're suffering over here, but in other parts of the world, female genital mutilation is a very real thing. And it's exceptionally problematic. right? Where we literally are seeing women, young girls, have their labia cut off, have their clitori cut off, right? And just and that is female genital mutilation. And that is happening actively in this world today.
And that's such a challenging topic as well, because, I mean, there are perspectives that would label it female genital circumcision, and women that would advocate for their cultural right to this practice. So as, personally, as someone who isn't immersed in that, I mean, from my Western perspective, I can stand back and say, that sounds terrible to me, but I don't want, in many ways, I don't want to project that onto other women who are advocating for it, but then women who don't have a choice or don't have, that's really complicated.
It's so complicated, right?
Yeah.
It's so complicated. And it's become even more complicated because we're not talking about it, right? We're not talking about our vaginas. We're not talking about female genital mutilation. We're not talking about vaginoplasty, where you're putting lasers in your vagina to make them tight, whatever that means. Again, whatever the fuck that means, I don't understand, right? And it's so interesting, but there's this obsession with what vaginas need to look like, taste like, smell like, right? Like pubic hair. Okay, there's a thing. It's called a merkin. Does anybody out there know what a merkin is? Do you know what a merkin is? No? So a merkin is a wig for your vagina. So they'll use it especially in movies and stuff, but in some fetish play as well. So you get this cute little wig thing, and you put it on your pubic mound, right? And then now all of a sudden, if you were hairless before, now you have hair. It's so interesting.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Usually it's the opposite,
right?
That people are going for.
Yeah. And these are amazing, by the way. Guys, I need to show you our vagina cookies. These are... These are incredible. This is the mold we're using that I got specially made for us that now has ovaries in it. And we're making vagina cookies for those of you who are just starting. So that's what a merkin is. So it's so interesting because we have this culture of hairless vaginas, literally, right? And everyone needs to wax everything, shave everything, do all of that. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. You gotta keep that shit tight right in together. Yeah, I mean, right? I don't need Jungle Book coming out at me, or you know what I mean? But then I expect that if not expect that, but I ask if my partners are comfortable with that, then that's cool. And if not, then that's something you deal with, right? It's not my body to dictate, it's theirs.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like my shit fresh.
And there's
not fresh, because I don't like associating that word with it.
We have within our culture, we have this expectation of almost prepubescent
prepubescent sexuality. Yes,
this is women are supposed to be slim and really small breasts and no hips and no hairless.
Yeah,
and
none of that's happening over here.
It's very childish in a lot of ways, which is kind of dangerous when we look at just the fetishization of children or very young women. You wonder how that all sort of connects.
The fetishization is crazy. Sorry, I'm just paying attention to the time. All right, we got about 10 minutes left, so we got to put these in. Either way, if you follow me on Instagram later or on Facebook, I'll be posting the pictures of these sexy vagina cookies because I was hoping we were going to get to cook them, but this conversation is just way too awesome. So we're just going to bake them ourselves, and I'll be posting the pictures as to how we made these vagina cookies happen. Peanut butter chocolate chip walnut vagina cookies happen. But back to what you were saying, I mean, it's just problematic. So this is why Cookies and Conversation today was about vaginas, vaginal health. So what did we talk about? We talked about vaginal health. We talked about names for your vaginas. We talked about expectations that we put on ourselves as women, that we put on each other as women, that men put on us as women as well. We talked about self-pleasure and how knowing your body, connecting with your body is so important and imperative for building your sexual self-confidence and connecting with other people, and not only with other people, but first of all connecting with yourself and then expressing that to your partner, whoever that looks like, whatever that looks like, right? Because you deserve to be served. Straight up, right? So, that's how I roll. And I love my vagina. Do you love your vagina?
I love my vagina.
I hope you all love your vaginas. And if you don't have a vagina, I hope you love the vaginas that are in your life. Because it's really important to love it and to own it and to be all about it. But anyways, is there anything else we wanted to talk about before we let everyone go and bake these awesome cookies? I'm just going to show this. That one was epic. That one's going to be like the best cookie ever. There we go. Vagina cookies. That's what's happening right now. I think we're good. I think we got it all. We talked about cleanliness. Yeah. Anyways, friends, look at this. Flour everywhere. Look at us. We're cute. Okay, so thank you to Holly. Thank you for all of you for loving your vaginas, for hanging out with us tonight in Cookies and Conversation with Dr. Carlen here in the Corner of Love and my lovely friend Holly, aka Holly Feminist. And I hope you guys have a spectacular and beautiful night and evening. So much love to you. Stay tuned. Every week I've got a jam-packed June coming up. It is going to be super fun, super interesting. I cannot wait to share with you all the topics that we're doing every week. And yeah, love your vagina. Yay. Bye. Mwah.